Let's face it, most celebrities are risk takers, and because of that, most of them have gone through some pretty scary experiences in their lives. Hi, I'm Stacey Taylor, and today I'm counting down the top 10 celebrities who were involved in terrifying accidents. So what celebrities do you think had the scariest accidents, and let us know in the comments below. Starting off our list today in the number 10 spot, we have Jeremy Renner. Recently Oscar-nominated actor Jeremy Renner has come out to say that he was at fault when it came to his New Year's Day snowplow accident that left him in critical condition, and that he apologized to his family for putting them through the whole ordeal. In an interview that aired on ABC's network last Thursday, Jeremy said that when he was driving the plow after using it to pull one of his family's trucks out of the snow and onto the pavement, as the plow started to skid on the ice, Jeremy said he became worried about the safety of his nephew Alex, who had just unhooked the chains connecting the truck in the plow. Jeremy then stuck one foot out of the plow to look back at Alex and did not set the parking brake. The actor then lost his footing and fell out of the plow cab. Seated in a wheelchair, Renner would then go on to tell ABC News journalist Diane Sawyer, "You shouldn't be outside the vehicle when you're operating it. You know what I mean? It's like driving a car with one foot out the car. But it's what it was, and it's my mistake, and I paid for it." Renner then tried to jump back into the vehicle to stop it, but he stepped on the moving wheel tracks and it threw him forward, and the vehicle ran him over, breaking more than 30 of his bones, collapsing a lung and piercing his liver. Number 9. Leonardo Dicaprio. When Leonardo Dicaprio was scuba diving with actor Edward Norton in the Galapagos Islands in 2010, things didn't go exactly as they planned, as when Leo went under the water while filming a documentary on climate change called Before the Flood. Soon after taking the dive, the actor would learn that his oxygen tank had a leak in it. Luckily for the actor, Norton was also on the dive with him and was able to help him out by sharing his oxygen until they were able to get Leo back to the surface. Then in 2014, while the actor was cage diving with sharks in South Africa, a shark managed to wedge half of its body inside the cage with Leo. And because the water had just been freshly chummed with tuna, the shark attempted to bite the actor. In an interview with Ellen later on, Leo would describe the incident when he told the talk show host, "Half of its body was in and I flattened down at the bottom, and it was this far away, and it tried to bite a few times, but I survived." It's clear that the actor just has bad luck when it comes to open water, so maybe he should just avoid it altogether. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never have to miss out on what we might just cover next. Number 8. Travis Barker. Back in 2008, Travis Barker's life would change after he was in a plane crash that claimed the lives of several of his closest friends. Despite takeoff, the plane's tires blew, leading to a crash and a fiery explosion. Travis was lucky enough to be able to escape through an emergency exit door, but he suffered third-degree burns on 65% of his body and had to undergo 26 surgeries, and he was left with a lot of mental health issues. And since the accident, the star has struggled to cope with his PTSD, with the star noting that things have started to get better as the years go on. For the longest time, it was so bad he couldn't even get into a plane. Travis would then open up to Men's Health, where he would say, "The closer I was to it, I felt like I was closer to the bad stuff than I am to the good stuff. I was always thinking about that. Now it's been so many years and it's getting easier for me. There are days where I'll wake up and never think about it." Number 7. Amy Schumer. Back in 2016, Amy Schumer explained that she nearly robbed the world out of all of its laughs after she opened up about a surfing accident during her bottomless interview for Vanity Fair's cover story. In the interview, Amy would tell the magazine that in high school she took a surfing session that nearly ended up taking her life. When she went on to explain, "I have a pretty bad scar on my leg from surfing, 41 stitches, 3 layers, I skied myself. My whole fin went into my leg and I had to yank it out. I was by myself." The accident happening during the winter, Amy then went on to explain that because of the season, there was hardly anyone on the beach to help her, and after she limped her way back to shore, she found a man, asked him for assistance. Amy then went on to explain that she was trying to walk the man through the process by telling him, "I need you to hold my leg." She was delegating for him to help her by closing her leg, and with his bare hands, After she ripped the fin out, there was just a lot of fat and blood coming out of her wound. And to this day, the actor still wishes she knew who the guy was because he saved her life. And she still remembers what he looks like, as she's explained that he had blue toenail and nail polish on, long hair, and he was extremely beautiful as he held her leg closed until an ambulance came. Number 6. George Clooney. Back in 2018, George Clooney would be involved in a motorcycle crash that left him thinking it would be the very last moments of his life. Gravity star Rather Bleaky then went on to say in a new interview that he was convinced he would pass away, with strangers crowding around him filming instead of trying to get him help. George then went on to tell Sunday Times, "If you're in the public eye, what you realize when you're on the ground thinking it's the last minute of your life is that for some people, it's just going to be for their Facebook page." Clooney, who was driving in Italy at 75 miles per hour when a car in front of him turned, would be sent flying over his handlebars. Though the actor is now fine, he didn't think he would live to see his wife or his twin children again. And in his moment of need, all he could do was wait for his switch to be turned off. After colliding with the Mercedes, he would explain that he split his helmet in half, it knocked him out of his shoes, and he actually broke the driver's windshield with his head. He would then later joke to THR about the incident by saying, "If you get 9 lives, I got all of them used up at once, so I can let go of motorcycle riding for a while." Number 5. Gerard Butler. Back in 2012, Gerard Butler would admit that he just couldn't stop surfing, and all he wanted to do was get back in the water after he had a terrifying surfing accident, with the star being pulled underwater and dragged over a reef in California while he was filming for a surf movie of Men and Mavericks. During an interview on the Graham Norton show, he would say, "I was going to go back that day. I was actually in the ambulance and wanted to go back, which was a little crazy, but it's pretty addictive." Instead, Butler was then taken to a medical center where he was evaluated and released. Speaking about the incident, he would then tell Norton, "This was maybe one of the few times that the reports were not exaggerated. It was a pretty close call. The waves just took me and I couldn't get back up. It was pretty hairy." In the end, Gerard explained that the incident helped him get into his character when he said, "In the movie, I put in a scene about a 2-wave hold down. When you are down for so long that the next wave comes over before you have a chance to get back up. And that's what happened to me. They finally grabbed me just as another huge wave was coming in. It was just like a movie. In fact, everything I talked about happening in the movie happened to me." Number 4. Kanye West. Just before Kanye West rose to fame as a rapper, he was in a car accident that left him with some serious injuries. Just 2 weeks after scoring his first record deal, Kanye fell asleep at the wheel while driving a rental car in the early hours of the morning. He was left with a shattered jaw that required constructive surgery, and for his jaw, it had to be wired shut. Months after the accident, Kanye said he was still relearning how to rap again. Thankfully, he was able to make a full recovery, and the incident actually helped him write his hit song Through the Wire. Later, Kanye would tell Interview magazine, "I think I started to approach time in a different way. After the accident, before I was more willing to give my time to people and things that I wasn't interested in. The accident gave me the opportunity to do what I really wanted to do. I was a music producer and everyone was telling me that I had no business becoming a rapper. So it gave me the opportunity to tell everyone, hey, I need some time to recover. But during the recovery period, I spent all my time honing my craft and making the college dropout." Number 3. Tom Cruise. I think we can all agree when it comes to Tom's stunts on Mission Impossible sets, the fact that the man does it all himself proves he may have had one too many zaps done by the Church of Scientology, as this man is insane. However, later Tom would come to know the consequences that can happen when you do your own stunts on set when he had a terrifying accident on the Mission Impossible Fallout set. Even though the actor rehearsed the move over a dozen times, what should have been just an easy jump when it came time for the film scene, it would quickly turn sour after he fell and broke his ankle. Cruise then said he had a lot of doubts and eerie thoughts just before doing the stunt for the film, when he said, "It was funny because when I got to the top of that skid, I have to climb up that thing a million times. It was freezing cold. When I got up there, I went into a free fall down the rope, and there was just a moment where I'm thinking, I don't want to let go. I don't want to do it. Number 2, Miranda Cosgrove. When Miranda Cosgrove was on tour in 2011, she would be involved in a really scary bus accident that left her needing surgery. The accident occurred in the middle of the night after the bus she was traveling on collided with an overturned semi-truck on the road. With the bus driver trying to hit the brakes, they just couldn't make a safe enough stop. Miranda, who was sleeping on the couch in front of the bus, would then be sent flying, and in the process, she would sustain a severe broken ankle that required surgery. Following the procedure, Miranda uncovered one other unusual injury from the accident: a mysterious hole in her leg. Thankfully, it wasn't painful, and it eventually scabbed over and healed. Later on in a podcast, she would talk about the incident, and in the interview, she would say, "It was so strange because when I woke up, I had this cast on. And later, when I went back to have it removed, that's when I noticed the hole. And I was asking questions like, what is this? What's that? And I was like, wait, why is there a hole in my leg? So they were like, oh, we didn't do that. However, they probably did do that. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Justin Theroux. Justin Theroux was once in a skateboarding accident that almost left him needing brain surgery while he was skating through New York City. Justin says he got hit by a van and completely blacked out. When he woke up, he couldn't remember his name or phone number. While waiting for the ambulance, which took over an hour to reach him, his memory would start to return, but then things took a really scary turn once he got to the hospital. After doing scans, Justin was woken up in the middle of the night because doctors thought they saw something concerning. He was then quickly prepped for brain surgery, but after a second doctor looked over things, he was thankfully given a clean bill of health. Later, Justin would recount the incident on The Ellen Show when he told Ellen, "I was skateboarding and I got hit by a van, and I woke up with people all around me. I clearly blacked out for, I think, a long time. There was a woman over me weeping, and the woman was screaming. She goes, 'Who are you? What's your name? What's your phone number?' Trying to get in touch with someone. I had no clue who I was. I couldn't even remember my name. I couldn't even remember my phone number." Well, that's it for this video, my little peaches, and until the next one, remember to stay juicy.